101テック始まります。今日のテーマはセキュリティ企業が目撃、ミトス級 AI の脅威です。アンソロピックの AI モデルクロードミトスが4月に発表されて、サイバー攻撃能力の高さに世界が震撼しました。でその危険性から現状世界の約200の組織に限定公開されています。で6月には正式版のミトス5も登場したんですけれども、今アメリカ政府の指令によって提供停止を余儀なくされています。とはいえ AI の進化はまだまだ止まりません。で様々な AI 企業がミトス級 AI を開発するのも時間の問題だと言われています。ではそんな未来にどう備えればいいのか、今日はミトスへのアクセス権を得たアメリカのセキュリティ企業の CEO の方にお越しいただきました。 ID 管理サービスを提供するOktaの創業者で CEO のトッド・マッキノンさんです。So we are joined by Todd McKinnon, co-founder and CEO of Okta. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to have the conversation.
Yeah. It's the second time for you in Japan.
Yeah, second time.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Okay. How was it?
It's a very good trip. Interest in what we're doing from a company, and of course AI and what's happening in the industry is top of mind for all the big customers and partners and prospects I've been meeting with, and it's a very exciting time in our industry.
Yeah. So you're actually the first CEO of the companies that were granted access to Cloud Mythos on the show. And so when Mythos came out, and it showed that it could find the security vulnerabilities like such easily and like faster than anything before. What went through your mind?
Like everyone, I wanted access to it, and I wanted to make sure that Okta was secure and that our software and our customers were secure. And so, like everyone else, we jumped all over it, and we've been evaluating it. And it's quite interesting. I think the industry is maybe getting a couple things wrong about it, or maybe not understanding. And as I talk to Japanese companies and security professionals in Japan, I tell them the same thing, which is people think about it as we had zero vulnerabilities in the world, zero risks in the world, and now that there's this magical new security model, now we have hundreds of them. But that's not true. We've always had vulnerabilities. There are vulnerabilities discovered and released all the time. And now this is another tool that is quite an important new tool, but it doesn't take us from zero vulnerabilities to hundreds. It takes us, from some number to incrementally more that we know about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the way the industry should approach it and the way that companies should defend themselves has to be coordinated with that. So it's not, what that means is that it's not a dramatically different way of acting. It tells us that we should take the precautions and make the changes and make the investments that we've known we should make for a long time.
Right.
If I could use an analogy, you read in the media all the time about new research about health and nutrition and what makes you live longer, and this kind of research comes out all the time. But it kind of always comes back to the same basic things. If you don't eat too much and you exercise a little bit more and you're more active and you get good sleep, you end up being healthier and living longer. That's kind of what it's like the basics. You go back to the fundamentals of it. So I think these new cybersecurity models, whether it's Mythos from Anthropic or OpenAI has GPT Cyber, similar type of thing, they're telling us that we need to invest in the basics. The industry knows what we need to do is that we need to be good at patching our systems and deploying software and keeping it up to date so the fixes that vendors and developers get deployed. So we have to patch our systems. And Okta does this very well. Our customers do this and strive to do this very well. So another very basic thing is strong, solid identity security. And this is where Okta really comes in. We know that as an industry, we need to not use passwords. We know we need to have strong identity verification, strong authorization, because as these new models help us find new vulnerabilities, the first thing that attackers are going to do is they're going to use these vulnerabilities to try to steal your password, try to take over your account. And we know that if you had strong identity security with a product like Okta, you could be protected against that.
Right.
So these are important enhancements, and the industry is taking them very seriously. Okta is taking it very seriously. But what it's telling us is that, back to my analogy, we have to exercise a little bit more. we have to patch our software. We have to make sure we get good sleep. We have to have good identity security,
right,
and so forth.
Okay, always good to come back to the basics.
Yeah. Exactly. That's a lot of in life. It's how life works, right?
I know.
Sometimes we make things too complicated.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Some of our audience might not be familiar with Okta yet. But in Japan, large enterprises like Hitachi or NTT runs Okta for hundreds of thousands of people on your platform, but over 1,000 Japanese companies. So could you quickly tell us what Okta does and why it matters?
The vision of Okta is to free everyone to safely use any technology. Where the markets and the products we have are in a category called identity management and identity security. But that's really a means to an end. The end goal is we want to free everyone and free companies and individuals to use whatever technology they want. And we do that with these identity management products, which do important things like log employees into their systems at work in a secure way, help people on the internet log into various websites and do that securely, and help IT departments and chief security officers of companies manage their environments and manage the accounts and manage the permissions and keep it all secure and make sure they have good visibility as to what's going on.
So I'm going to take a deeper dive on what just we talked about. And so first, Mythos class AI and its threat. So you talked about Mythos kind of reminder, that it's important to go back to basics. But when you work on the Mythos and those that define security vulnerabilities at Okta, from the security front line, how do you see this shift? What's going to change?
Well, hopefully what I'm seeing, and this will continue to play out, is that companies will prioritize and make sure that they execute on some of these foundations, some of these basics, making sure that they get their patching systems, invest in that infrastructure so they can patch and deploy software changes quickly in response to these vulnerabilities, making sure that their identity security is modernized. You'd be surprised how many companies don't have phishing resistant, which means you can't trick the user, passwordless authentication for their employees and for their customers. We have the technology to do that, but a lot of companies haven't prioritized and taken the initiative to upgrade to that. So I think one thing this is going to do is it's going to help that prioritization. We still have way too many security breaches in our industry, and so we need to get the whole world to upgrade to the things we know that they can do to prevent these issues. And so hopefully all this renewed interest in things like Mythos and ChatGPT or GPT Cyber will get people to, and I'm seeing this, they're prioritizing these things more, and they're one of the reasons why Okta is doing so well.
How was everyone at Okta reacting to Mythos capabilities, and were they surprised, or how was that?
We took the model and we're using it to testing all our systems internally. But it's like I said before, it's not a brand new thing we're doing that we haven't done before. We have teams of people and dedicated folks internally that use various tools to test our own products for vulnerabilities, and we have programs with external threat detectors and with customers and bug bounty programs. So this is a very mature part of our company. I mean, our number one priority is making sure our products are totally secure, and we're the most secure company in the world. So we have a lot of investment and focus on this. And so now they have a new tool, and it is innovative and helpful, and it does point out some new things, and we're making sure we take advantage of that for ourselves, but also communicating with our customers and partners about what it means and how they can be most prepared. The Frontier Labs, it's smart of them to try to make their technology applicable to every area possible.
Okay.
But it's not, I think the narrative that these models are going to just take over all industries is it's pretty unrealistic and unlikely.
I think the SaaS apocalypse is one of the things that they talk about in terms of the industry change.
Yeah, when I come to Japan for many meetings, I use an interpreter, and the trickiest thing to translate was the term SaaS apocalypse. We got there eventually, but it's the Japanese translation is a little different.
But that means that's what everyone asks you in the meeting.
Not everyone, actually. Many people ask. Everyone is concerned about the security and the management of AI agents. Fewer than AI agents. Some people are interested in Mythos and GPT Cyber, and then I would say even fewer are interested in SaaS apocalypse, but some were. Yeah.
Okay. Is it a threat to Okta?
I think the AI agents is a huge opportunity for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that every organization is figuring out how to either, if they're a technology company, they're figuring out either how to make their systems more agentic. If you work at Apple in the operating system department, if you work in Microsoft in the Windows development department, you're figuring out, make no mistake, if you work on Linux, you're figuring out how to put agentic capabilities into your operating system. If you work at Amazon Web Services, or you work at Microsoft building their Azure, or you work at Google Cloud, you're figuring out how to make that more agentic. If you work at a company, you're figuring out how to take all the agents that all of your vendors like Google and Salesforce and ServiceNow are selling you, and how you deploy those to make you're building your own agents. So in the center of all that is this huge requirement for agentic security, and how do we secure AI? And Okta has a tremendous opportunity to power that and to be the control plane for how different agentic systems connect together. Because the fundamental thing is that these agentic systems need more data, and they need more information flowing into them to make them more valuable. You can sense this as well in your own use. When you use, what's your favorite chatbot? Gemini, ChatGPT, like what do you use?
It changes from time to time.
Yeah, so
GPT or Claude.
Yeah, so let's say Claude. So right, when you use Claude, it's very useful, but if you can add your calendar information, or you can add your own Word, documents, Google Documents, or your own, it's way more valuable. And so magnify that by 1,000, and that's what all of these companies are doing. They're trying to either build the capability into their product to pull things together, or in their company, they're trying to connect their data warehouse to their collaboration system, to their SaaS application, to their agent. And that's what we do. We secure that connection. We make sure that the access from the agent to all the data is done in a way that is secure and it can't be hacked into. And so this is a bigger market opportunity for Okta than identity management was for us 15 years ago, by far. And so we're working very hard to take advantage of that and capitalize on this.
Okay. So as we see more powerful AI models, in terms of the authentication or identity verification, do you think there's with Mythos class models coming up in the future, do you think it will be more likely to be disrupted with those models?
I think we're very open-minded about what possibly could change and the threats that could emerge, for sure. In our business, you have to be very paranoid, and you have to think about, you can never think that you have it all figured out. That's a dangerous place to be in. So we're very open-minded. We think that what's really important is that the basics and the fundamental of authentication need to be upgraded to phishing resistance, to passwordless, to strong authentication. Like, we know we have the technology to do it, and we have to get there. And that's the clear and present opportunity for everyone to improve their security. And that's true now, and it's true with these new models, and we think it's the best way forward, but we're very open-minded to new threats. By the way, one thing that's also unequivocally true in this technological transition we're going through is that there will be new threats that we cannot anticipate right now.
Right.
It happened in the internet. Like when we first put all the websites on the internet, we didn't know we needed firewalls. We didn't know we needed virtual private networks. We didn't know that there was going to be ways for one website to trick the user into clicking on another website and sharing. And it was a combination of cyber companies that solve problems with technology. It was a combination of the different infrastructure pieces changing their products so that they were less susceptible to these vulnerabilities. And so that is true as well. So as an industry, I think we really need to make sure we're on top of that.
So not just for IT people, for everyone working in the company, I think the new models are the simple reminder to take a closer look at how our authentication or the identity verification is safe with the those tools and the two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. Are we doing it right?
That multi-factor is old news. It's the new one is it's important because that's not secure anymore. People can steal your SIM card and they can trick the help desk into resetting so it's got to be phishing resistant biometric authentication. That's the new standard, and many companies haven't upgraded to that, and that's what they need to do.
Biometric.
Yeah. So
like
it's actually it's actually bound to your fingerprint or bound to your face or in your machine, and it's very hard to trick and very hard to defeat. And the attackers go for the organizations that haven't done that.
Okay.
So they don't even spend their time trying to defeat the very sophisticated things. So once you get on the modern security, they go spend their time on the companies that haven't done it. So there's an advantage to being on the latest. Besides just it's better and more sophisticated, you make yourself less of a target because you're not the weakest link in the chain. Yeah.
Okay.
And in this agentic world, there's going to be the same type of thing required. Right now, when companies try to connect all of their systems to cloud, they do it in a very simple way, kind of the equivalent of just having simple password, that you remember. They do the same thing for an agent. There's no equivalent of a biometric for an agent, so they do this simple way, and they don't do a modern way that actually uses the latest and greatest technology for how an agent should connect to a database or an agent should connect to your calendar. And that's what we provide. We provide that plumbing that's modern that says, hey, if your agent gets hacked or gets compromised, they won't be able to steal the information from the database because it's secured through Okta.
Okay. So before moving on to the next part, I want to ask you one question. I remember Okta had a security incident in 2023 about the customer support system. That's what I remember. So powerful models like Mythos may make it easier to find vulnerabilities faster. How are you protecting Okta itself, protecting yourself in this new sort of landscape environment?
Yeah, we invest a tremendous amount. It's the number one priority for the company to make sure that we are one of the most secure organizations in the world. And I think it comes down to priority and culture. It's how does the company invest and what initiatives and what projects and what priorities get top billing and top priority from my level as a CEO all the way down. I think that's really how you make a difference. And we, of course, use our own products internally extensively to secure our own identities and our own AI agent infrastructure internally, which helps a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And the next part about AI agents, and sometimes it goes rogue, and so how do we deal with it? And so you're talking to many CEOs from many companies in the US or elsewhere in the world. How are you seeing the companies are implementing or using AI agents, and how do you think it generates the new risk?
Well, first of all, I'll take a step back. What's happening with AI and specifically with what people call AI agents is it's very important and a very large technological wave and technological transformation that's happening. People argue about how big it is, but it's big. It's at least as big as the internet, which was probably the biggest transition in my lifetime, in my career. I think one of the mistakes people make is they talk about AI agents and they have examples of ChatGPT or
Claude
Microsoft Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, and they think of an AI agent as a thing or a set of things in technology. But I think the right way to think about it is every part of technology, whether it's your operating system on your laptop or whether it's your favorite website or your systems and applications your businesses builds for their customers or systems you use at work, they're all going to transform and become more agentic. I think we're pretty early in this transformation. I would say it's kind of like remember when the web first started coming out, there were a few websites, and then a few years later, every organization kind of had a website, but they weren't very good. They were kind of simple. They were kind of, they had the phone number of the company and the logo of the company.
Right.
I think that's kind of the stage we're in now. I mean, a lot of vendors have released AI agents, and companies have simple AI agents that you can use. But I think they're going to get a lot better, and they're going to get a lot more capable. And I think one of those big improvements is going to be connecting more data to the agent from the company, so that you go to a company's website and they have a support agent, and now it might not know that much about you or about your relationship with the company, but in the next couple of years, it's going to know a lot. It's going to know what products you have from the company. It's going to know the past experience of your support issues, and so that's the mode we're in now. And so I think when I talk to companies, it's all about there's lots of things that could change. You're going to have a lot of innovation, a lot of new options, a lot of new vendors with new products. You got to figure out what you're going to use. The one thing that's fundamental is that you're going to want to connect. You're going to want to have AI agents everywhere, and you're going to want to connect those agents to data. And so that's a no regrets investment, and that's why our business is doing so well here. They're willing to think about investing in this area, and we have a product and a capability that is very clear that it's going to be required now and for many years in the future.
Yeah. So if there are more and more software or database that AI agents connect to, I think the verification authentication issues or the challenges that we're going to see of them, see more of them.
More increase, yeah, both the number and the importance and the risk of getting it wrong.
But yeah, on the other hand, unless you connect to those many apps and databases, you can't really take advantage of the power of AI agents. So how
do you do
the
both?
Company going to be able to
how am I supposed to do that?
address those issues?
Yeah. Well, I think there's many things that are required. I think first of all, when you talk to companies, they don't even know how many AI agents they have.
Okay.
So the first question is, how many agents do I have? And it's not, I mean, it's no one's fault. It's just that AI agents and AI capabilities are pretty easy to use as a user. And so people are logging in and doing, Copilots and ChatGPT, and so they're vibe coding with Claude Code. And so, but if you look at the companies, like who is in charge of monitoring this and making sure that sensitive information is not shared or there's no access that could be exploited? Well, it's IT and it's security. And as an industry, we need to give IT and security better tools to see what's going on. So one of the things our product does is it answers this question for IT and security: where are my agents? What agents do I have? How many people have written Claude Code agents or Claude Cowork agents, and how many people are using Copilot, and how many people are using agents from so we give them that visibility. And then the second question we answer is, what can these agents connect to? To have any chance at balancing the business benefit and the power of all these agents with the risk and how we could keep bad things from happening, you have to have a central control plane. You have to know where your agents are. The second question is what they can connect to. So what is Claude connected to? Is it connected to Jira? Is it connected to GitHub? Is it connected to other software development tools? Is it connected to calendars? And is it connected to my document management? And then what can it do? When the agent connects into my calendar, what can it see? Does it have my permission? Can it see everything I can see? Or is it as if it's my executive assistant? What is this? And so by answering those three questions, then you can give the company power to say, okay, I want to make this agent more powerful with these specific connections, with these specific permissions, and I'm willing to open that up because the benefit is very high and the risk is manageable because I have the central visibility. That's what's so powerful about this.
So there are I think so many AI agents in the wild called the Shadow AI.
Shadow IT, Shadow AI. Yeah. And the other thing that's important to understand is that we're talking about the upgrade or the transformation of all of technology. My applications, the way my email system is going to have agentic capabilities, my computer, my phone, everything is getting upgraded. So what that means is that it's going to take many different companies coming together to manage and secure that, which is very important. There's 0% chance that one company is going to make you agentic or turn you into the agentic potential that's possible.
So what would happen if they fail to manage agents? What if agents go rogue?
It's hard to, data leakage and one customer seeing another customer's data. We could sit here and list all kinds of things that could go wrong. So that's why it's so important to put these central visibility and these central guardrails in place in a way that not only manages some of these very real and present risks, but also gives us an option to add pieces in the future that will be needed because there are risks that we can't anticipate. And that's always the case with new technology. They're thinking that we know every future risk is not possible and dangerous, by the way, because it means you're not open-minded to being adaptive to as new risks evolve.
Your team has, I saw that your team has tested agents and like OpenClaw, and they found out about the potential risk.
Yeah.
Could you quickly tell us about that?
If there's one specific risk, it's easy to mitigate that. It's more like what are the foundational elements you have to put in place to help you be set up for future risks. I think if you think about something like OpenClaw, it's incredibly powerful. And one of the beauty of it is how flexible it is in its setup, and how much power and permission you can give to each to the central agent to access all systems. So again, it's like if you are one person setting up your own OpenClaw agent, or you're having automated agents on OpenClaw, then by definition, you have that central visibility, and you can make that decision for how much access do you want to give this agent to your information. So you're in control. Now, if you take that to the enterprise context, that's what's missing. There is no central control because you have 1,000 little agents being written by different people. So bringing that central visibility and control is very important.
And I think you talked about kill switch for AI agents. So what is it and why does it matter?
It's the ability to disconnect the agent from different systems when something goes wrong. So kill means disconnect. So if the agent doesn't have access to any systems, they can't write data, they can't read any more data, then it's in effect, it can't do damage, so it's killed. So the kill switch is to be able to, from a central control system, sever the connections. That's what kill switch means. Now, why would you want to kill it? Well, there's very basic reason is that there's some problem that gets reported in some system. And you have full, with Okta, you have full traceability and full logging and full visibility. And so you see something's happening in some downstream system that's wrong, so you can stop it, turn it off, investigate what's going wrong. Now, there also might be other products and other capabilities in the environment that detect risk, and we can accept that risk decision and invoke the kill switch based on that risk decision. So it can be manual. You can invoke the kill switch because you learned something goes wrong. Okta can detect something that went wrong and call it the kill switch, or other products in the ecosystem. Maybe it's your network security detection, maybe it's something on your computer, can send that command in to kill the connections.
So in terms of who turned on kill switch, you talked about it can be Okta or it can be the other company or other software in the ecosystem. So it's not something that Okta can really do on its own. There has to be ecosystem.
Well, Okta manages the connections, and killing means disconnecting the connections. So that's the key part. Now, why you decide to kill or what leads to that action, that's very open and flexible. But Okta is the only one that has the capability and the product to actually manage the connections and thus to kill the connections.
And you're announcing a lot of partnership with the Anthropic and other companies, and I'm seeing that a lot of partnership with Anthropic, and I'm paying attention to that. But how it's going to all work, and what does it mean?
It's not. People don't talk about it enough. How amazing of a job that they've done capturing the mind share of the industry. This is a company that barely anyone heard of 2 years ago. Everyone was OpenAI this, and now in 2 years, Anthropic is captured the imagination of the industry. Everything they announce, people assume that massive sectors of the technology industry,
especially this year,
cyber, and it's quite amazing the job they've done doing that. And as a result, everyone wants to be associated with them. Everyone wants to partner with them, and they're doing a great job trying to keep up. But sometimes I can imagine being Anthropic, it'd be hard to even get through your email every day. So many people wanting to talk to you.
Yeah. But what does the partnership with Anthropic mean to Okta?
Well, the Glasswing and the Mythos partnership is really important to be in that, like we talked about, the cyber research. We're also very excited about what we are doing with Anthropic for agentic and agent authorization. So we've been working with the industry on a new industry standard for how AI agents connect to resources. And it's a part of a technical protocol called OAuth, and Anthropic a couple weeks ago announced that they're supporting this protocol in Claude, which is awesome because everyone uses Claude as their AI agent. Everyone wants Claude to connect to multiple systems, and they're the first, I would say, major AI agent to adopt this new capability, so we're very excited about that. And the reason it's important for Anthropic is because they're trying to get every user in every organization and not just at work, but at home, to use Claude and to use Claude Code and to use Claude Cowork. And these enterprises that are having their people bring Claude in are worried about, hey, how is it going to connect to all my resources? And now with this support of this protocol, they can use Okta to control what resources Claude has access to. And so it makes Claude easier to be used by large enterprises.
Right.
So it's good for Claude, it's good for customers that get a more secure environment, and it allows us to even more easily and in a more powerful way broker these connections.
Okay. So we're going to see those like the standards with more AI labs.
Standards, I think, so standards are, technical open standards are very important. Very important. And we talk about a specific standard for authorization, the standard is called Cross App Access. That's the name of the capability. But these will be more powerful, or these will be important as the industry moves forward, because like I said, we're upgrading everything in the stack, and it has new requirements on how it fits together, and the protocols and the standards we were using for cloud or for the web aren't going to be enough. And so we're working with the industry to upgrade them, because that's the only way that it's all going to work together. It's not going to be one vendor. It's going to, it's not going to be just Anthropic that takes over everything. It's not going to be Google or Microsoft or Amazon, or it's going to be a bunch of different vendors working together to make this not only powerful and effective, but also make it be something that people can manage and secure, and balance this incredible excitement about the business benefit with the reality of having to make sure the risks aren't too high.
Right. Okay. Let me move on to the final part. How should Japan defend itself? Since you're in Japan and you're talking to executives in Japanese companies, and how do you see the state of identity security at Japanese companies compared with the other rest of the world?
I think it's very similar. I think Japanese companies are very excited about the potential of AI, whether it's a big bank, big financial services company that's thinking about how to make their operations more effective, how to make their people more effective, how to do more with, as you know, Japan has an aging workforce, and people are figuring out how they can keep their productivity high and keep their companies and organizations super strong as that happens. And I think AI automation, AI agents is one part of the solution there. So they know the benefit. How can we make customer experience better? How can we make sure that we get great customer support and product discovery, and so they see the benefits of AI agents. But one of the, I think, strength versus the rest of the world of Japanese companies is how seriously Japanese companies take governance and security. I think in terms of the prioritization of these efforts, the culture of Japanese companies values that incredibly high, which is powerful. But in terms of the maturity of thinking about how we go from these simple agents that are in use today to these more powerful systems that are connected to more data, it's very similar to the rest of the world. We're relatively early, and we know that we want to connect more systems, but we don't have great tools to do it, and we certainly don't have enough of this central visibility. So the conversations with Okta are, as you could imagine, they're very excited, because the vision we're bringing to the world and to the Japanese market is something that's very important, and it's very timely.
Right. I saw Okta's survey found that in Japan, more than 80% of the executives believe they understand how AI is being used in their organization, but nearly half of employees are using unauthorized tools like Shadow AI. How do you see this gap?
I think it has to be addressed. Yeah, it's like you don't know what you don't know. It's pretty hard to have a good sense of how AI is being used if you also know that there's half of the usage that you don't know about. So that's why we're investing in the products and these discovery and making sure that people know where their agents are. And I think one thing that's different about Okta's approach is that we're very multi-vendor. We don't just say, hey, here are our agents, or here are agents in one product or one platform. We say, here are all your agents, and we can discover some in a certain way, but we also need help from other partners in the ecosystem to make sure we're discovering all of them. So we want that survey to say, I know for sure 100% of the AI use in my company. That's our goal. We want that survey to be 100% I know about all of it. And because that's the only way to make sure that we can get the benefit and mitigate the risk, which is so important to everyone, particularly in Japan.
I wonder which is important, how they make sure the AI policies are really strict, or they make sure that all of AI is being used in the organization can be seen. Which is important?
You can't have the policy be strict without having the visibility. So you have to prioritize the visibility first. Because if you don't have visibility, any policy you implement, it's only going to be applied to the ones you know about. So
Right.
it's like I don't know what example would be. It's like you can't control what people use for money if you don't have visibility into all the counterfeit money or all the black market money. I mean, maybe my analogy is not great, but, but you have to have that visibility, which is I think the most important thing.
Okay. Finally, could you give us a message to Japanese business professionals, like what it's going to look like use AI agents at work in the near future, or how do they get ready for it?
I think the main thing that is important is it's going to change. So you can't get ready for it in the sense of like what's going to happen, and I'm going to plan out the exact skills I need, the exact products I need to understand, and the exact method. It's more you have to understand that one of the most important things is this adaptability. There was the great scientist Charles Darwin said that it's not the strongest of the species that survive. It's really the ones that are most open to change, or the people that adapt to the new change are the ones that survive. So I think that's very important. And then make those no regrets investments. So in this world, what are the things that are going to be required? The fundamental things are that you're going to have to have visibility. You're going to have to connect these multiple systems together. There's no technological advancement that's going to mean you don't have to get the AI systems more data. That's going to be the exact way you do it, and the exact where the data comes from might change, or the exact protocol on how but that you're going to have to manage these connections. So be open to change, be adaptable, and then make these no regrets investments to make sure that as the market evolves, you can be in the best position to move your organization, or whether you're a company or an individual, move yourself forward by making sure you adopt these technologies as they come into being.
はい、ここまでオクタの CEO トッド・マッキノンさんをお迎えして今日はワンオンワンテックをお送りしてまいりました。いつもご視聴いただきありがとうございます。ぜひチャンネル登録と高評価、そしてクロスディグの公式 X のフォローもお願いいたします。ニュースレターの配信も始めてますので概要欄からぜひご登録ください。So, Todd, thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was really fun to chat with you, and it's an important, exciting time, and it's fun to spend a few minutes with you here.
Yeah, okay, likewise. Yeah, thank you very much.